away from static comps into more sort of, having the client sign off on these sort of responsive wireframes, right? These responsive designs. So here's some examples that he gave for a site that he did. And he starts off very, very linear, again, this is mobile first, even though it's a desktop view. But it's sort of free from any sort of layout. It's just sort of getting the guts on the page, laying out and establishing the page hierarchy. There's nothing crazy going on from like an aesthetic standpoint. It's just more or less to just get the pieces in place. And only later does he come back through and they start to apply some layout and some color ultimately and all of that stuff, which is great. And so you have these page-level components now, and they're mostly comprised of these groups of atoms. Again, so we're sort of like going in this like linear build-up from very abstract to more concrete. They begin their life as HTML wireframes, but going through, again, a lot of people showed a lot of messy, graphs about, process and stuff like that. And that's very much what these things become, right? They start their life doing this very sort of rough sketch kind of view. But over time, that's the stuff that you start crafting, that you start, fine-tuning and applying, color and texture and typography and all that great stuff to. And so they sort of gradually become higher fidelity, and that's fantastic. Again, so this is starting to get into the land that the client actually cares about, right? They're like, that's a web page, I get it, right? They're able to view it on their phone, they're able to view it on their tablet, they're able to give feedback on the hierarchy, they're able to click on things, they're able to roll over things, they're able to interact, and that's very, very cool. Eventually, it becomes, right, the final product. It can begin its life as the sketch. You can go through and refactor things. You could go through and tighten things up. But ultimately, this is what we're trying to get at, where we're not doing something entirely separate only to throw it away and redo it for real this time, right? And then the last stage is this concept of pages, right? So now we have our templates in place with some sort of lorem ipsum and some just basic stuff, and then bam, hit them over the head with the awesome, right? The stuff that's in context, the stuff that we're